Well, good morning, everyone. If I am smiling a little extra broadly today, it's because I feel like a little girl in like a sandbox. Okay, so I was more of a tomboy. I played in sandboxes and climbed trees and things like that. Or a little girl who is playing in her mother's makeup, for those of you who can relate to that. Or that boy who is now in the garage with his dad, playing with two. Whatever your thing was, maybe you are a boy, you like to be in the kitchen cooking, but that childhood, idea you have of I can just come and just be myself and have fun and learn new aspects of myself. This is what I feel this interview is about to be. So I am your host. I am Fubara Eneli. Of course, you guys know I'm an attorney. I'm also a mother, 5 children, 3 in college. Pray for me at this time. I'm also a community activist, which we need in this day and age. And I'm a gardener. I'm a lover of nature. And of course, more importantly, the host of the show. And today we are going to be looking at rethinking freedom in a whole different way. Typically on this show, right, as we talk about rethinking freedom, we've been focusing on politics and law and economics and understanding history and so on and so forth. But today I want to take a slightly different walk into the world of beauty and perfume, oil, skincare, makeup, how we feel good. Because have you ever had that moment where, things are just not going the way you want them to? But you do something to make yourself feel good, and it changes how you see the world. It changes how you're even able to process and problem solve. So these may seem like surface level things in terms of what do I do with my makeup and how do I smell and all of that. But in truth, they are ancient practices tied to identity, tied to spirituality, tied to confidence, tied to self-determination. They are absolutely tools of liberation, of freedom. So I have to tell you a little bit about our guest today. I recently returned from a 2-week trip, a study tour to ancient Egypt. We call it Kemet. And I was completely focused on just the history and the spiritual aspects of this tour, right? That was my mindset. I was very clear on some of the things that I wanted to feel, accomplish, experience, explore. And in the process of this trip, I happened to meet an absolutely glorious woman. She's one of my guests today. Her name is Arlene Williams. And what I loved about Arlene is I could smell and feel Arlene before I could see her. Like her scent ushered her into the space. I don't care if it was a marketplace. Like literally, I feel like if you blindfolded me and told me to find Arlene, I could have. Because I would just follow the most beautiful smelling, wherever the most beautiful smell scent was coming from, that would have to be where she was. And I remember one time just sitting and smiling, thinking about her. Okay. And that particular day, I think she was, because we had we were on these buses for these tours, and she wasn't on the bus. And I just kept thinking, it don't smell right. Like I'm missing this woman being around. And I started to think about how little I have thought about perfumes and oils. I mean, I have a couple bottles of perfume, but if you give me a bottle of perfume, it could last 10 years because I don't use it that much. And I was like, why? What is that? Because I love how things smell. We use spices in our food. Okay. We are drawn to, and fragrance has such an, she gonna do it. But anyway, so I latched onto this woman. I don't know if she realizes that I did. And I just wanted to know, what do you do? And lo and behold, she has a whole YouTube channel teaching people about perfume and fragrances. So I will have her tell us a little bit more about herself. And then to my shock of shocks, This woman is a whole UAW union leader and all of that. Like, she's so what we would call girly girl, but then she gets stuff done. And what that reminded me of is the power of the divine feminine. That we don't have to lose the power of who we are as feminine beings. And you could be a man with feminine energy. Actually, I hope you do, because you want to be balanced out. But so often in our culture now, it's like we're being asked to squash the feminine and become more of all of this all the time and lose balance. So Arlene Williams, welcome to Rethinking Freedom.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love the introduction.
And our second guest is Jessica Washington. You might know her as Jessica Blends. She's going to tell her what a MUA is, MUA, because I didn't know what it was. But, gosh, Jessica, how many years has it been?
Oh so my gosh, it's definitely over a decade.
Are still babies. So it's been a minute. It's been at least 10 years.
It is.
And I think what it is I needed to take pictures for something because I don't remember some business venture or a book cover or something I needed to do, and I'm looking for who's going to take my picture, and I came across Michael Portraits. He does absolutely amazing photography. But then, you want to look put together for your pictures. And I was not that girl who practiced a whole lot with makeup, right? And I'm not saying that makeup is the only thing that makes you look good, because I obviously feel comfortable in my skin. But there are times when you do want it to just, you want to come at a different level, or you want to change up how you look or whatever. Anyway, I found out that Michael works with a makeup artist. And so, I'm like, okay, let's do this service and all of that. And I show up, and she's so professional. And I kept telling her, hey, I'm not that big makeup person. Do not give me the eyelashes that look like a tarantula has fallen on my face. Yes, I'm giving my biases. I want it to look natural. I'm not trying to contour and change my face. I just want to enhance how I am naturally. And let me tell you, when she was done and they took these pictures, you couldn't tell me nothing, okay? I was like, oh, I got all of this in me. I've been playing. I've been sleeping on myself. So, Jessica, welcome to Rethinking Freedom.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. It is such a pleasure being here, especially for as long as we've been together and seeing you grow to this position. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. And you see their beautiful smiles. Okay, so let's jump in, because the folk are like, okay, we want to hear from them. All right. So Arlene, how did you even get into this whole perfume thing? Like, what?
Okay, so I wanted to be on YouTube, but I didn't really know what I was going to do. I kind of thought it was going to be me trying to regrow my natural hair. But it turned into being fragrance. And I discovered that it really fit my personality because I've always loved fragrance. It's been times where I've gotten away from it, and like I would only do fragrance mist. And then because I was one of those people when you come over to their house, they have a dresser full of perfume. As a young 20, an older teen, young 20, that was me, because my mother always had perfume.
I was going to ask you, did you learn that from your mother? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mother used to say that a woman is always supposed to smell good. So we always put some type of smell good on. That's what she used to call it. Put my smell good on. She used to tell us, even when she's like, when I get older, y'all got to come give me my bath. Make sure you put my smell goods on and my lipstick. So she was a girly girl.
Okay.
So I think that's where it came from. But by me being on YouTube, it just brought that love back.
And so what do you do on your channel on YouTube? Like, because Yeah. What do you?
I talk about a lot of fragrances. I talk about layering fragrances. I'm getting more into the oils, like when we were in Egypt, and just layering them all so that you just smell good throughout the day. Even if you don't reapply, from the time you leave the house, you're smelling good.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're gonna get into some details because I think that maybe those $5 ones that I buy on discount at the dollar store, maybe they don't, they're not doing the job. Or I'm telling, I'm
It
telling on
could.
myself. Um, and how about you, Jessica? How did you get into this world of beauty and makeup, and why?
Man, for me, I was a tomboy. I was a tomboy too. So growing up, I was rough. I was tough. I didn't want to do makeup, and then one day I was like, let me try something different. I like being an artist. I like creating things, but I can't come up with stuff like from my mind. I need to work with what's there. And so after a while, I was like, okay, I want to transform myself into somebody worth looking at, because at first I was very, very insecure and self-conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to beauty as a way to kind of fix myself. But through the journey, I learned that through the devotion of caring for myself and actually approaching it with love rather than trying to change who I am, I was able to be more of myself and love more of myself. And then when I got into portraits with my canvas portraits, it was just mind blowing because I never worked in selling makeup or at a studio. It was always with portraits. So when these women would come to me, it's like, okay, I'm ready for something new. I'm going into a new phase of my life. I'm celebrating something. I'm becoming someone new. I'm getting married. I'm having a baby. And when they sit down with me, it's the same experience that you had. Okay, I want to see myself. I don't want to look too different, but I do want some elevation. And being able to do that for women in a way that is still organic to their natural beauty, that's still real to them, but they still feel that elevation is the smallest part. But seeing them actually embody and change how they show up and live and get in front of the camera before they sit in my chair till after, that was priceless. Well, that is priceless. So yeah, I do makeup, but it's just the tool that we use to help women see themselves in a real way, like connect with their beauty in a real way. So yeah, after I found that, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop, and now we're just evolving. And how can we connect to our beauty past just putting on makeup or feeling like you need to fix yourself?
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that, and she's probably watching this as well. One of my dear friends who lives all the way in Michigan came down for a conference that we have for girls in my community, the It Girls Conference. She was speaking at the conference, and she's like, "Who does your pictures?" And so I told her, and she immediately booked a session with Michael, who's the photographer, and Jessica, who's the makeup artist. So it's so their synergy is so great. You hire and you get everything taken care of. They work well together. And she got her pictures done. That must have been, it was before COVID, so maybe 2019. And
Mm-hmm.
she raved and raved and raved about these pictures, and everybody loved it because she absolutely looked like herself, but just like you said, just quote unquote elevated. And you find, oh my God, I've never been accentuating my cheekbones. They're actually there. Or I didn't know my eyes were this, and this is how to enhance my eyes, or whatever. So fast forward to 2025. She's like, Aya, when is the It Girls conference? I don't care if I'm a speaker, I'm coming. And I'm like, why are you coming? Oh, I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to hang out with the girls. Oh, and yeah, Can I have their phone number again? She booked another appointment with them. She had to have another session to get her pictures, get her makeup done by Jessica, and get her pictures taken. And she absolutely loves them. So what you do is absolutely priceless. And if you see, I would say 90% of any professional pictures you see of me for my new law firm and so on and so forth, she's responsible for that look. My 50th birthday, all of that, she's responsible for that look. So Jessica and Arlene, we know that fragrances, perfume, makeup, skincare, these are not new inventions. We know that indigenous societies, women from, as they would say, time immemorial, African women, indigenous women in particular, we've always cared about how we presented ourselves, how we smelled, how we looked. We were in the museum in Egypt and found out that my ancestors were rocking wigs
Yes.
that look like their own hair, not like other people's hair, but they were they were rocking these wigs way before Christ was born. I mean,
Yes.
and I was just like, okay, you know, we see Nefertari, we see, or Nefertiti, we see the coal, the eyes being enhanced, all of that kind of stuff. We know that if we look at the Himbra society, they used okra and butterfat for their skincare and sunblock. We know Native American communities used mineral paints in ceremony. Even this idea of people taking mud baths and getting massages and oils rubbed into them, these are all ancient traditions. So, Jessica, what would you say to people who are like, well, you know, makeup is hiding who you are. You should just be yourself. And also people who don't understand the skincare component of it. Because the one thing, not one thing, but one of the many things I sometimes hear men say when they want to take digs at women is, you know, I need a natural woman. I don't need a woman with all of that. And so there are extremes. There's a whole spectrum. You can go from enhancing to, you know,
Changing.
yes, you know, it's like a whole other, we can't recognize kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what would you have to say to women who are still grappling with, you know, I don't need that makeup, or, you know, does makeup include skincare, or I want to be natural? What would you say to all of that?
Oh yeah. I always say it's not the makeup, it's the intention. So if you're going in intending to look somewhere else or look like somebody else or trying to fix yourself, well, then that's what's going to come off. There's no standard of you have to wear this sort of look, or you have to wear this much makeup, or you need all of these products. None of that matters. And if somebody's telling you that it does, then they need to get out of your face, you know? So it's your intention. And especially with men, because I've had quite a few conversations with men when they come to me and they're like, I don't like makeup, I like my women natural. What I actually hear is that you don't like makeup all over you, your shirt, your face, your lips. And you also don't want to not recognize your woman.
You don't want her to be artificial.
Yeah, you don't want her to be artificial. And so as aside, because you know there are some nasty, you know, opinions from men, but I've come to learn they're like, I want to love you and see you for who you are, and again also not get makeup all over myself and my clothes. And so for the women who are like, I want to get into makeup, but I don't know what I need, or I need all these techniques, or I don't even know what to do. Just start with yourself. Start with what feels good. And skincare will always be the basis, because first you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your skin. It's always going to be there. And then second, if you don't know what your skin is going to do throughout the day, you can't prepare for it. If you don't know that you're oily, you're not going to know that you're going to need to blot or a certain foundation that you need. Or if you feel like your skin is great, then don't worry about it. Don't feel like you have to put something on just because somebody said it's a standard. Do what feels good for you. And that's the basis. If you put it on, you're like, yes, I feel like a queen, and you just want to put on blush and nothing else, well then feel like a queen. and put on blush. I'm not a hard, you have to have this standard. It's just easier when you know what products work for you, what colors naturally complement you, and you shrink your kit down to just the stuff that works for you. And then you don't have to think so hard about how much or what, or is this going to look good? You already have the stuff that looks good. And then you can sit down, breathe, take your time to love on yourself and connect with yourself, and then put on what feels good.
Wow.
Okay, Jessica, I'm so glad you said your skincare, because skincare applies to your makeup, and it also applies when you're doing your fragrance. You have to have your skin together. You want your skin to be clean and smooth and as beautiful as it can be before you put anything on it.
Absolutely. And I really love that we're together, because I see perfume as kind of decorating your aura. It's like your makeup for
Yeah.
your air around you. And they work so perfectly together because,
Yeah.
again, like, you don't need makeup. You don't need one or the other, but together, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so Arlene, and yes, you have to see her in person to understand. Again, I just have all these images of us being out in, like, 115-degree weather in Kemet and all of that.
Yes.
But your skin, your legs, your arms, your everything, this was just, yeah, amazing. But for those who are saying, I don't know where to start, or maybe they're I'm not going to call them cheapskates. I'm going to say they are more budget conscious. For someone who's saying, this is all too much, I never got into any of this stuff. What are you trying to introduce me to? Where will you tell people to start in terms of fragrances, and in terms of even beginning to embrace this concept of smelling good, which I believe really makes you feel good? Because let me tell you, since I met you, y'all can't tell me nothing. If you've seen me since I got back from Egypt, you smelled me before you saw me. Now, I do understand there are people with, sensitivities who, with allergies and so on and so forth. And so, no, I'm not trying to like overpower you. You've seen those people where they come in and people are gagging because it's too much. But I was trying to learn from Arlene. I just layer a little bit. But now people actually, like, I've gotten so many compliments in the last few weeks of, oh my God, somebody smells good. Something smells good. I'm just like, that's me. No.
I love it.
So anyway, Arlene, where do people start? And for people on the spectrum, whether they are at the, hey, I'm at the $5 part, or people are like, hey, I got $300 to spend in one bottle. What advice do you have for us?
Okay, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how much you spend. So you want to start with your basics. You want to get like I said, you want to get your skin nice and smooth as possible. So you want to be clean. That goes for your face. It goes for your skin. Clean. You want to exfoliate. That kind of stuff doesn't even cost money. If you use a soap and use a towel, that's helping to exfoliate your skin. Period. So you don't have to like be extravagant. Now, of course, you want to, if you want, you start getting your smell good shower gels or your smell good scrubs. You can start there. And then, of course, you want to put something emollient on your skin. So you want to use your oils, your creams, your lotions. I personally like to put an oil on before I get out the shower. And then I put my cream on. But you don't even have to do all of that. You can just, something like CeraVe. That's a cream that it doesn't smell, but it's a nice cream. It doesn't even leave a sheen on your skin. But over time, you'll see your skin getting smoother. So if you have to start from there, like you don't know what to do, start with your wash and your creams. That's what I say. What do you say about the face?
The same.
Yeah.
The same. You want to start out with a clean face and finding a cleanser that incorporates or that works well with your skin type, and just staying consistent with that.
Yep.
It's not about having a bunch of products. It's about finding the right ones and continuing to use it. And I love CeraVe too,
Yep.
especially for the face. Slather it
Yeah.
on, put it on thick like a mask, and just let your skin soak it up, because
Yep.
that's the first thing. We want hydrated, plump, happy skin before we do anything to it.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
can you guys spell the CeraVe for people who are like, never heard of it, don't know what y'all are talking about?
SERVE.
Okay.
Oh, and now I left the E out, didn't I? SEREVE.
Is
Is
it
that how
S? Is it S or is it C?
Ew, I
C?
thought it
I'm
was a C.
sorry, C. I'm spelling it wrong, period.
Okay,
C.
C. Okay. So it's CER.
EVE. Yeah.
CEREVE. Okay. So for
Am I
those of
spelling
you,
it right, Jessica? You looking like no, spell it.
Girl, I'm trying to Google CERAVE. There it is.
A-B. Okay, okay.
CERAVE.
there you go. So, and you know what? If they're listening to us, run us our coins, because we didn't even intend to do any promos for anybody. So run all three of us our
We are
coins
not
right now. We would
sponsored,
appreciate that.
Yeah.
so
No,
we
but
just love it.
I was just saying that one because you can use it for your face and your body, and it's not extremely cheap, but it's not extremely expensive either.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're pretty clean. I guess pretty. I don't know.
Mhm.
In my opinion, they're pretty clean products. I say that.
Yeah, it's good enough for your
So,
face. Yeah.
coming back to you, Jessica, in terms of what you teach women, what is it? And I don't know, maybe you teach men as well. What is it that you would want our audience to know about the art of using makeup to enhance how you feel, how you look, and how can they find you if they want to come and learn? Because there are truly some of us who we need tutorials, we need we need someone to sit down and work with us step by step. Don't take anything for granted. But what would you say to them?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to send you some links to my website so everybody can find me. We can come in and sit down together. I mainly work with women, and my process always starts with self-love. So we're going to clean the face, find the right products for your skin and skincare, of course. But before we add anything on, we get clear on what is the message that you want to send. What are the features of your face and of your skin that you love? And most importantly, how much time are you willing to spend on this in the morning before you go out? Because we need not just one 60-minute, 50 product looks, but if you're like, hey, I'm going to run to the store, I want to take an extra 5 minutes sort of look, and all the way up to I'm going out tonight and I want to look special. So we get clear on how do you want to be seen, how do you love yourself, how do you want to express that, and what products align with that. And then simple routines to where you can put it together and adjust, because once you get to the part where you're not thinking so much about what I have to do or what the next step is, the more you can breathe and enjoy the process, and then just focus on embodying how you want to feel when you leave, how you want to show up, the version of yourself that you want people to be seen as. So makeup is kind of like the boat, but what we're really talking about is embodiment, is showing up and really feeling like that woman, that version of yourself. And if you need to just wear a red lip gloss and that's it for you, that's it. We're going to keep one in your purse, one in your car, and one at home. But if you want to dress it up, then knowing what works for you and not just a template or cookie color or whatever the trend is at the moment gives you that freedom to be like, yeah, I know I look good, and I'm not worried about what everybody else is thinking about, because this is for me. This is for me. So
I love that you said, I really love that you asked that question. What do you love about yourself? What do you love
Mm.
about your features? Because so often we're just nitpicking and tearing ourselves down. But what do you love about? Yeah, that is so powerful. How about you, Miss Arlene? Again, I'm just thinking, okay, now I've decided, you know what? I do want to smell good. Okay, I've gotten my skin smoother, right? It's
Yeah.
clean. Where do I go next? Because I walk into a store or whatever and I'm just overwhelmed. And I don't like shopping. So when I get overwhelmed, I leave. You've seen that in person. So, so where do people start? How do they even start figuring out what fragrances work? Because something that I learned a long time ago, but what's surprising when I learned it is the fact that a perfume smells or a fragrance smells a certain way on one person.
Oh,
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, that smells so good. I want that. Does not mean it's going to smell like that on you. And you may
that's
have
very
dropped a
true.
whole lot of money. So, yeah, educate us. Educate
Okay,
us on
so
how you process.
so once you decide you want to get into perfume, or you want a, say, signature scent, you probably unconsciously you'll be thinking about something from your childhood or somebody that you knew smelled good to you. And a lot of times you will gravitate to those type of fragrances. So it's good to, for when you're trying to find a fragrance, first spray them on like cars or whatever to see what you like, what appeals to your nose. And
Okay.
then after that, maybe pick two that you really like and spray it on your body. Walk around with it, live with it. If you can, get a decant so you can take it home and actually spray it all over, so that you can figure out, does this really mesh with me? Is it really what I want to smell like? What I like to smell? Would I like to smell this all day? Or when I feel like I want to be extra, is this the scent that I want to give off? So that's one of the things to help you choose a fragrance that's for you. Even though it may smell beautiful on somebody else, like you said, it may not be the one for you. That's a way to kind of try it out. And then you can go the cheaper route, like your Bath and Body Works or your Bodycology or Victoria's Secret, especially when they're on sale. Go buy some of those and look at the back of them and read the fragrance notes, and you'll figure out some notes that you may like if you're
Hmm.
really new to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
But
you can actually like with your box of food, where you can go and look at the ingredients, like what's in this can or what's in this box. You can do that with perfume.
yes, you can look at the fragrance notes. Some of them may not have it on the box. Most of them are starting to do that now for the higher end fragrances. But like your Bath and Body Works, your Victoria's Secrets, your stuff that's in your grocery stores or your drug stores, they usually have notes on the back. But there's
When you
websites that
when
you
you
can
say
go to,
when you say notes, you're talking about musical notes. We
fragrance
learn
notes.
here.
Fragrance notes.
What does that mean?
It might have orange blossom, it might have rose, vanilla. It can be fantasy notes like cotton candy or gummy worms. It might have anything because they have fantasy notes that smell like food. Since you brought up food, they have fantasy notes that smell like food. It can be
Okay,
a cupcake,
so if I
ice
decide
cream.
tonight on my date, I want to smell like a Sunday, then you can find something that will
Yes,
fit. Okay, I'm learning. Interesting. I
yes. If
did
you
not
want to
know you
smell like a snack, yes, you can smell like a snack.
had a snack. Okay, that is interesting. So once you figure out what notes kind of work for you, then that can actually help inform what you purchase.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yep, then you can kind of know. Because, like, okay, so just because you might think fragrance is loud, is overpowering, is, taking over the space. No, they have very soft fragrances you can buy. That's more like skin scents. Like somebody would have to get really close to you to smell it. It may smell like you just fresh out the shower. That might be your type of fragrance. So
Mm-hmm.
they have a wide variety of fragrances you can pick from.
Okay. And I watched a couple of your YouTube channel, some of the presentations you did on your YouTube channel, and you kept talking about this layering thing.
Yeah.
Are you saying, I mean, because when I think of clothes and layers, I can have 2, 3 layers on. Are you
Yes.
saying that you can have more than one fragrance on at the same time?
Yes, you can. And you
And,
can use
and that
different
is a good
modes.
thing?
Huh?
And it's a good thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Educate us a little bit.
Okay, so like I said, you start with your shower, that could be part of your layering. But when you come out, you might like your cream, that could have it could be a scented cream or a scented oil. So that's part of your layers. Like we
Okay.
bought oils when we were in Egypt, put a little bit of those oils on and put it on your skin. And when you shear it out enough, you can even rub it on your clothes. Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
that helps the fragrance last with you. Then you can go into like I said, your body sprays. You can spray those on. Those can coordinate with your fragrance. Then you can put your perfume on. So you can have lots of layers, or you can just have the one. You might just be, I just want some shea butter that's scented. Put that on. And
Mm-hmm.
that might be your fragrance. So you can go as far into it as you want, or put as much as you want, or as little. And just because you're layering all those fragrance notes or all those fragrances, it doesn't mean it has to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Everything could just be building upon each other, and you come out just smelling lovely.
Got you. Got you. So a couple of things as you were talking that I came to mind for me is just going back, especially as you're talking about the layering, just going back to start with a clean smell. Because if you're already musky smelling, you all know what I'm trying to say, and you just spray cologne or perfume over it, does that work, Arlene?
I know. You're
No,
gonna be
that's not layering.
uh that's a different kind of layer. That's not what we're going for. Unless musky is what some people like, a musky scent.
No, no, no. We're not talking that kind of
I,
musky. We're talking about you didn't wash. You came off
so
the basketball court, or you came
no,
out of
you
the
need,
kitchen.
in
Because
my
sometimes
opinion, you
I
need to
cook,
wash
I cook, and then I gotta run to a child's game. I'm in the car, and I'm like, I can smell
the
the
food.
curry on me. I can, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not a good time to just spritz something on.
No, curry is hard to get rid of. I personally like food scents in the kitchen, and that's it. Like when it's time to eat. I don't
Mhm,
even like food scents after I'm done eating.
mhm,
So that's just me. So I don't like smelling like food. Like I don't want to smell like curry. I don't want to smell like tacos. I, I don't, what I'm saying? I don't want to smell those strong food smells. Um, in my opinion, you at least take the shirt off and start over. But if you're playing sports, a shower, you just got to get in the shower. There's no way.
Just gotta get in the shower. Young, so for all the young boys who might watch this, or parents of young boys, because unfortunately I have sons who play football, and they would have football before school
Mm,
and not necessarily always have time to shower before they come to class. And they just thought deodorant and a whole bunch of cologne would do
will
it.
work.
Y'all
Yeah,
killing us.
yeah.
Y'all killing
You
us.
got to hit the arms at least. At the very least, have a washcloth and some water.
A
Hit
safe
up under
bet.
those arms.
Listen, guys, and we're laughing about this, but obviously how people present affects how they are received, and
Yeah,
what doors open and don't open for you. And so we currently have, because you all know I always have to bring in the political, we currently have a felon in chief who is in the White House, and one of the prevailing things on social media is that he doesn't smell good. So someone might want to tag him on this, because you haven't seen that? Yeah,
no,
they said his body odor is really horrible. Some people say he might be doing stuff in his diaper. I don't know. I'm not with him.
I
So
did hear about the diaper.
So this might be a good one for someone to tag him on, or really for any of us who are dealing with any kind of issues, just having that awareness and understanding that, taking that extra time with how you present can make all the difference in how people receive you. So Jessica, when we come to makeup, and please feel free to go in any direction that you want to, excuse me, I'm still back
Bless you.
cold, skincare or makeup. Are you seeing with your clients that you're having to re-educate us and to help us break past certain myths? And I'll give you an example. Growing up, my mother, she has 4 daughters. And I remember one time wearing red lipstick. It wasn't even that bright. First of all, we weren't allowed to wear makeup until we got to a certain age. I'm talking even eyeliner. We could put some Vaseline on our lips. But if you did anything else, you were like trying to draw attention to yourself. You were fast, those kind of labels, right? But at any rate, I think I was in college at this time, and I had put on red lipstick. And my mama was almost fit to be tied. And she was like, what are you, a traffic light? You want to be seen from 2 miles away? Like, what is that on your lips and all of that? And so I learned to like be very muted with my makeup and certainly lip color and so on and so forth. What kind of issues or myths have you seen that women have that sometimes prevents them from really being able to embrace the ability to explore and discover aspects of themselves?
Yeah, actually, it's the red lip is super prevalent. And most of my clients, well, 99% of my clients, they come in with the same story as you. They're like, I don't wear makeup usually. I want to look natural or beautiful or a little elevated, but don't take me over the bridge into, dramatics and something really heavy. And I hear that story a lot of growing up. I was told that red lips were for women of the night or fast women. And
Yes.
growing up, my experience with my mother was the complete opposite. My mother, she does not wear makeup, but she will put on a red lip gloss or a red color on her lips with no other makeup. And so growing up, I'm like, okay, if it's the right shade, then it doesn't really matter what else you have on as long as you feel good in it. So when my clients start coming to me and they start with I just want to look natural, and we'll do that for the first look to get kind of warmed up and to feel good. And throughout the session, as they get more comfortable, I'm like, listen, we got to take this up. And I know red feels scary, but let me show you the right shade. Let me show you how to blend it. Let me show you mix it with a gloss or give you the right lip liner so that you can see yourself as, okay, this red is not scary, especially when I do it right. Or, okay, this red is bold. It is. It's going to say, look at me, because it does,
Because
but
why
that
shouldn't
doesn't
you be looked
mean
at?
exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it does call for attention and you have to be ready for that attention, but that doesn't put you automatically in a certain category of, being fast or a woman of the night. So I have to change that perspective. It's not the color, it's not the lipstick, it's how you apply it. It's choosing the right color and mostly the intention that you have behind it. If you feel powerful after you put that red lip on, I don't care if you have no makeup on or you have a full face on, it's how you're showing up with that lip on. And if you're not running around acting like our mothers used to say red lipstick will make you look like, well, then that's just not who you are. And when you know that, other people's opinions doesn't matter. You put on what makes you feel good.
That is so right. I'm raising daughters, and I'm, within this day of internet, I constantly have to find myself. Like sometimes they'll post a picture, and my initial reaction is, and I'm like, okay, where is that coming from? And it's coming from, one, I want them to be safe, right? But two, it's like I don't want people to get the wrong idea about them, because they're so much more than the initial reaction. But I'm like, but why is society always labeling women in this way and limiting our creativity and all of that? I can like to have a red lipstick on and still be incredibly brilliant? Who says it has to be one or the other? So thank you for sharing that. Can you tell us, I know you said you don't have to necessarily have a specific set of makeup or, you know, different items that you use or whatever. I don't even know what the correct terminology of it is. But what are some of the basics that you would say you would recommend? We don't have to, but what are some of the basics you would recommend in terms of just having that clean, fresh, beautiful face, foundation, whatever? What would you recommend to any novice who's listening today and saying, okay, where do I start?
Yeah, of course. So for the basics, of course, we're going to start with your skincare and your chapsticks. You want to be moisturized, you want your skin happy, and you want to prepare for whatever it's going to do throughout the day, right? You want it nice and protected. After that, the basics I like to go through are brows. Something simple like a brow gel or a retractable pencil, easy to put on, super fast. You don't have to take too much time on it. Next, eyeliner and mascara. Again, retractable, super easy to use. It brightens up your eyes just a bit without taking too much time. And after that, something that makes you feel good. So for some, maybe you'll want a little shimmer on your cheeks, then get a liquid highlighter. Or if you like color on your eyes, a eyeshadow crayon or a liquid eyeshadow that you can dab on with your fingers and run is perfect. And of course, like a tinted lip gloss or a little color that you can put on your lips. So very simple, very, very, very simple. After that, if there's a feature that you love and you're like, okay, I really want to play that up, then we'll spend more time on that. But the basics, brows, mascara, chapstick, a little lip color.
So you're saying that for people who, because I remember watching Tyra Banks one time when she was doing America's Next Top Model, and when she said it took her 3 hours to get her makeup on, I about fell out of my chair. I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. So are you saying that you can have a skincare makeup routine that 5, 10, 15 minutes and you're ready, you're out the door?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like if you're going to do it, if we're going to do this, we need to have the minimal. What is the least amount that you are going to do if you feel like you want to do it, which is usually brows, mascara, lip chapstick, or whatever you deem to be important. And then after that, we have like a daytime work, I'm going to be seen sort of look, and a nighttime work, I'm going to be seen sort of look. Personally, if it takes me longer than an hour, I'm not having fun anymore. I don't want to do it. So getting through your look in about 30 minutes is definitely possible after having some practice and after shrinking down your kit to where you only have what looks good on you. So you're not thinking this color or that color or this or that, this and that. You're just flowing through and putting it on. But with those big stages like Tyra, they're doing face makeup heavy, they're doing body makeup, you got hair, so it can get to the extreme. And there's a time and place for that. Before every day, 5 minutes in and out the door.
Okay, good. So I'm on the right track. Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah. And I guess you would say wash your, like, should we keep makeup? Can we go to bed with makeup? I guess is my question.
You shouldn't. You should not, because while you're sleeping, your skin is going through a refresh stage. You know, it's trying to clean out, it's pushing oils out of your pores. It's doing its best to take care of you, right? Can you sleep in makeup? I'm going to say no. It's possible, but you shouldn't. And for the health of your skin. And when you're doing your skincare in the morning, you can take a little bit of a break in between prepping your skin in the morning to putting on your makeup so that your skincare has a chance to soak in and reset your skin.
Oh, okay. Okay. I appreciate that. All right, coming to you, Miss Arlene, with our smell goods. And I can't say smell good without also swaying and feeling good in my smell good. Seriously, I'm so in love now with, I wake up in the morning. No, not really, but I do have multiple bottles of oils now, and even bought some perfume for my daughters, which they were both surprised at, like, because I never had. I bought like Bath and Body Works kind of stuff for them, whatever. But let me also ask you the same question. So, in terms of the basics, what would you recommend to that person who's listening and saying, this sounds good. I want to switch up what I'm doing, or I want to elevate what I'm doing. What are the basics?
I would say if you're brand new, start off with your body sprays, because nowadays they have high-end body sprays. If you're like, I don't want cheap Bath and Body Works, right? Okay, well, they got the higher end body sprays and body scented lotions and stuff. You can go to say Fenty, buy you a nice smelling body cream. I don't think she has body sprays yet, but let me think of a line. Like Fleur. There's a
So
Fleur line.
is there a big difference in the quality, or is it more name brand that we're buying? You know how you can buy
I'm
the,
not into
the
the higher
generic
end.
oatmeal, or you can buy the name brand. Like, is there a big difference?
I'm not into the higher end body sprays because in my mind, I'm paying for the name. So if I'm buying a body spray, it's gonna be Bath and Body Works or Victoria's Secret. That's where I stay with my body sprays.
Okay.
But I like them because at one point, that's all I used to wear.
Okay.
I used to just wear the lotion and the spray and go on about my business. And that was after I had the dresser full of fragrances. I went to just wearing what they consider the cheap stuff. I gave all my perfumes to my mom, and I just started wearing the body spray. So I was like, in the environment that I work in, I really don't need perfume. But that has changed. Now I'm back to wearing everything. So because I lay everything on. But it just depends on where your comfort zone is, because you don't need a body spray to smell good. You could just use your perfume. You know, you mix and match. But for somebody that was starting off, I would say explore with the cheaper stuff so that you can find what type of scents you really like.
Okay, so as you're talking, because for me, they're like all the same, and I know they're not. What is the difference between a body spray and then I can't even say the word? There's that one that they call eau de toilette or something like
Eau de
that.
toilette, eau de parfum.
How
So
you say it? And then there's the perfume. Listen,
yes.
I keep it real. And then there's the perfume, and then you'll be looking at the same thing, but it's the same name, but one is cheaper than the other. And I was like, well, why would I buy the more expensive? Do they not do? Is there a different concentration? Like, educate us.
Yes. If there's a different concentration. So body sprays may have, I don't know, between 2 to 5 percentage perfume oil. Okay. Whereas the cologne, it goes up higher. Then your eau de parfums, they have between about 20% perfume oil. Then you can go to your extracts. They have closer to 30. So it's all about the perfume oil and the alcohol. Like, it's higher percentage of alcohol in your cheaper body sprays as in compared to your perfumes.
So which one stays on longer? So the more alcohol, the quicker it evaporates? Or?
Yes, okay. The quicker it evaporates. Okay. But you know, with technology, they do whatever, and some of those body sprays stay on pretty long. Okay. Just as some fragrances, some perfumes, you might find them to be light wearing, like it's not staying on me. Or it could be there and you personally can't smell it, but other people can. So all of that goes into the combination of the scent, like your scent bubble. Okay. So you spoke about the scent bubble. Okay. And so like the oils, I'll go back to the oils. The oils that we bought, they're more concentrated. That's why you only need a little bit and it lasts. Yeah. But it may not be filling up a room, but you might have a trail. You might have like a bubble. Yeah.
So we've got about 5 minutes left. I don't know where the time went to. Arlene, I have a question about this. So, as a teenager, my father brought back, and I won't call the name of the perfume because I don't want anybody to feel any type of way about it. My father brought me back this bottle of perfume that I absolutely loved
Okay.
and probably used for like 10 years. Same daggone bottle, right? Now that I'm older, menopause has clicked in, all of that. That same perfume that I absolutely loved, I put it on me and I was like, what happened? Did they change the formulation? Can you give me some education? What's that about?
Okay, so if it's a new bottle, it's very possible the formulation has changed because there's ingredients that we could use, say 10, 20, 30 years ago that we can't use now. But then
Okay.
it's also your olfactory, like your sense of smell has changed. So what used to smell good to you as a young person may not smell good to you as a older person. Like fragrances that I played with in my mother's fragrance collection, they were very strong,
Yes.
heady,
Yes.
spicy, and loud. And if I smell them now, I think that something's changed, but it's probably me that have changed, not the fragrance. And it's like, oh, I don't like that anymore. Chanel number 5, loved it. Everyone thought it smelled wonderful on me. I don't like it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that my body chemistry, excuse me, that my body chemistry changed.
No, that could be it also.
Okay.
It could be like your chemistry may have changed, or what you like to smell may have changed, the formula may have changed. But say if it stayed the same. Say if that's the same formula, the same scent, and now that you put it on, it may be your skin has changed or what you like have changed. Like your pH balance may not be clicking
Yes.
with that fragrance anymore. Yeah.
I'm learning a lot today. I hope you all are too. And if you are, please go onto the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. It makes a difference for our guests to know that you are listening to them, and be sure to click on their links so that you can follow them and learn more. Jessica, any last comments that you would like to share with our audience?
I am just so grateful to be here and to have met, well, you, Miss Arlene, and to be here on the show. This has been, I hope, an eye-opening conversation for women to really be able to grasp like there is no real beauty standard or beauty rule. And it's really about coming back to loving yourself and figuring out how you're going to embody, you know, what you see your best self to be, presenting it through your makeup and maintaining that through your aura and your perfume. I also like to think as your perfume as like your reminder throughout the day as you're smelling it. It's like, yep, that's right. I know I'm good. Yep, that's right. I am that lady. And I want you to carry that with you throughout the day, whether it's a lipstick or a smell good, you know? So yeah, thank you for letting me be here and loving on you guys. And I've dropped some links. So if you want to learn how to tap into your makeup and really embody that beauty, and of course, capture it in a portrait session with my canvas portraits, I am here to walk you completely through it and help you really see that version of you. And after you see it, there's no more excuses. You know she's real. You know it's possible. And now the standard is set. You got to keep showing up like that.
That's right. How about you, Miss Arlene?
In closing, I would like to say, as far as makeup and fragrance, it can be a mood booster. Sometimes just, you know, you might be in a funk and you just throw on a little bit of lip gloss, a little bit of eyeliner, have the skin just looking beautiful and put on a little smell good. It can just change your whole spirit. So yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yes. Yes.
So what our guests are definitely reminding us are things that ancient civilizations knew. And that's what we're remembering today, that beauty is transformational, right? That you can be deep and everything else, and also care about how you present yourself to the
Yeah.
outside world. And we can use oils and perfumes and paints and tattoos and adornment and whatever else it is that helps us to express who we are. Arlene and Jessica, thank you so much for sharing your joy, sharing your passion, sharing your gifts with the rest of us, and hopefully giving us all permission to go and explore these sides of ourselves. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.